Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had a 2-week hiatus, just because, but we're gonna make it up to you guys because we got a lot of shit to show you, and we got a lot of trash to take out, literally. A lot of fucking trash to take out. We've been working hard, and we got buckets and buckets of shit, and we got, you know, tubs and tubs of shit. And yeah, so we're reorganizing a little bit, getting rid of the junk, obviously. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you know what time it is. It's fucking Friday, and it's quitting time. All right. Today we have a New Belgium, and it's winter. And we drink IPAs in the winter, and it's snowing. I thought winter was over out here in old Indiana land. Well, it's fucking snowing, which is good because we got a fucking road trip tomorrow, so it should be pleasant, you know. But, so, here we go. Ooh, that was good. Hey, here's to you guys. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. So, as you can see, with this bad boy, we got the hood on it. The client came down and gave us a bunch of parts that we can start putting on here and getting everything squared away. We were tearing into the ass end of this thing pretty good. We had to make some adjustments and alter a couple of things. As always, we can't control how something shows up, so we got to make it as best as we can. And when safety comes first, so we came in here and we added a little bit of structure into the frame back here, and we ended up, the pinion angle was off, so we ended up having to adjust everything multiple times just to get it right where we want it. And we did a half-ass alignment on it today, which is pretty neat. So we're moving forward pretty good on this. When we first get vehicles in here and we got to go back over some stuff that people have done already, we sometimes have to go backwards. If you've been following along that 68 C10 that we were doing, you all know that we went backwards on that. So inside here, we had the client come down, and we got the seats mocked up to where we want them. He came down and he showed us what we're going to do. We actually ended up raising the steering wheel and the column up a little bit, just to give him a little bit more access and everything in here. We discussed what we want to do, where we want to put stuff and all that stuff. The client sat in here, and like I said, we made some adjustments. We got some questions answered. We're waiting on pieces to come in here. We ended up making a new a shock mount for the top because it was a little flimsy, so we had to make some stuff. Here's just a little mock-up of what the hell we got going on. So this is pretty much how it's going to be. This is going to come up, obviously, and go through the top here. We're going to weld everything in, and everything's going to be a nice gusset and all that happy horse shit. And it's going to be sweet. Like I said earlier, safety is the main concern. Our clients that we work with know that it's when it comes to safety, there's a no discussion clause. If it's going to leave this shop, it's going to be safe. It's not going to go down the road and fall the fuck apart and break and kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, I mean, you know, how can somebody bitch and complain about, you know, doing work to a standard of you're not going to die? You know, as long as you don't wrap it around a telephone pole at 110 mile an hour, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, you know. But moving on to the Riv, baby. We got a shitload accomplished over here. As you can see, we have a floor pans, a floor. If you've been following along, you know what kind of adventure we've been on with this thing. We handmade, literally everything that you're seeing in here. Last video you saw, I think we had a couple of pieces made. We had to do the middle pieces. Well, we've moved on, and we are tidying everything up. We are at a point where we have enough tacked in and enough welded in that the body's going to come off the frame. We're going to go on a rotisserie. The firewall is going to be cut out, and we're going to finish off the firewall down to here and make everything pretty. As you can see, lots and lots and lots and lots of welding had to occur in here, and lots and lots and lots of engineering and fabrication and metal shaping and things of that nature. You know, when it comes to building things like this, safety is just like the other truck. Safety is our number one concern, and you can't just put random pieces of metal in here. There's another organization out there that makes floor pans for this, and it's 20 gauge junk. Well, I don't know how to fucking put it any lighter. It's 20 gauge, but you can see that this stuff is solid as a rock now. We put the proper bead rolls and everything where we wanted it to be. The structure is sound. I don't remember last time if we showed you, but again, the 3-step process. All the cross members from underneath are all treated. Everything, all the rust was knocked out as much as we could. We wire wheeled everything. We cleaned everything. We came in, we did a rust inhibitor, and then a rust reformer, and then a sealer system. So if your guy who's working on your vehicles ain't doing that, maybe you should ask him why, because we want this stuff to last, and that's what we're here for, to make this shit last. I don't ever want to see any of this stuff ever again. And by means of that, I don't want to fucking work on it ever again. So that's why we go into so much depth. Like with the safety over there, the rust treatment here, you know, that's just the route we have to go with everything. So moving on to the 67, people have been asking about this thing, and we are moving forward with this. We just got a fucking order in of a whole bunch of stuff. The only thing I'm going to show you is the tailgate that we got. We were going to actually make a filler piece for this, but after further discussion, we're actually going to have the tailgate in here. We got it's kind of an aftermarket style, I guess. It's a little bit more fancier than the one that says Chevrolet or just, you know, is junk. As always, you know, with all these other pieces we had to trim and all that stuff, we're going to have to do a little bit of work here. If you want to take a close look at this edge here, you want to come down at it, you can see what type of welds and shit are going on with that. So we're going to have to clean that up. But if you come straight down the edge of this, Randy, you can see that we got some waves and everything. So same thing with the doors. We're going to have to clean everything up. We're going to make it fit in here real nice and neat. We're going to have the gap set, and then we're going to start moving forward with building the structure and everything. We started welding in where the cross members on the bed are going to be at. So we'll get these all finalized. As you can see, we got those ones back there done. We're going to do a couple more up front here. And then we got the battery, the air ride system. We're going to put the fuse panel and all sorts of shit back here and all that good stuff. So we are moving forward. In here, if you remember seeing this from a while back, we've removed more of the floor up here. Everything from here forward is going to be all fabricated. Just like the Riviera, we're going to have to hand make everything because of the sheer size of the back of the engine and the transmission. So all this is going to be a tunnel. I'll come over and I'll show you a little bit. Let me come in on this side, Randy. But everything, like I said, is going to be handcrafted. So we're going to come in here with new metal. We're going to make all this. We're going to come all the way up as much as we can up into the actual toe board system and everything. We're going to tuck it in as tight as we can with this, and we're going to have a tunnel that comes back. As you can see, I don't know if I've ever done anything real tight, but as you can see, here's the tailgate. Here's the back of the bed. We're going to have to cut into here because this is where you're, when you go up and down with the air ride, that's where the drive shaft's going to be at. So you can see there's a lot of metal work that's going to be going on in here. And that's just a little bit of it, the tip of the iceberg here. So right now, while we got all that shit going on, we are fabricating, prepping fabrication of the firewall. As you can see, we are building into no man's land. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is we get to build it however we want. The bad thing is we got no fucking structure wherever the original was. So as you can see, we started basically a skeleton of what the hell we got going on. We're trying to figure out how we're going to bring it. So this tape is actually showing where we might be coming up through as far as the firewall goes. The design is starting to organically shape. Like a lot of this stuff, we have the aftermarket hood hinges that we're actually going to bring this design and this angle into the whole concept of everything. So that's a little bit of behind the scenes on how some of this stuff starts getting shaped. As you can see, this angle right here with this hinge system, this is actually going to have, when this goes up and down, this actually has a shock system in here, kind of like a screen door, I guess, if you want to call it. So that's going to be attached here, so it's going to hold it up and go down real nice and smooth and all that jazz. But we decided to bring this angle down because it's a fucking nice angle. So we're going to come down here and then we're going to bring it down, which is going to give us almost back to the stock location, because as you can see right there, that's part of the steering column and the brake. So the steering column and the brake, actually the bracing goes all into one with these. So this here, this is your steering column that comes in. The steering shaft's going to come down in here somewhere. We got one of those. Like I said, we got a whole bunch of parts that we're going to fucking show you next week about. So stay tuned on that. There's some cool shit coming up. But you can see this is where the original firewall system was right here. So this actually came out and then there was some half-ass lip structure. This actually would be tucked down in here. But since these tires are so big, and when it's down on its nuts and lay in frame, these tires are literally going to be almost touching right up into here. So that being said, we're going to get all this firewall in. We got a radiator that's going to be coming here soon. We're going to structure all this shit, and then we're going to actually build up into here, and we're going to tie everything into here. We're going to tuck the engine in, pretty much is how we're going to do it. We're going to hide all the wiring and everything up underneath. So it's going to be, this is going to be a showpiece. You know, he wants it to be a daily driver, but we had to fabricate all this shit anyways. So, you know, it's just the way it is. The vehicle was in this condition, so we have no fucking choice but to build all this stuff. That's just the way it works. You know, he wants it to be a daily driver, but it's going to be another level of daily driver. This is not going to be a fucking patina daily driver by any means. This is going to be a fucking sight to see, just like everything else, man. Like that 49 Diamond T is going to be a fucking sight to see. This Riviera is going to be a fucking sight to see. And this son of a bitch is sure going to be a sight to see, because, you know, it's a fucking I.B.F.HotRods for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned till next week, because we got some good shit coming. Like I said, we got a bunch of stuff with the 67 that we want to show off. This Riviera is getting ready to be on the rotisserie, so you're going to see that shit. So that's going to be on the rotisserie. This thing's going to keep on moving forward. This thing just keeps getting cooler and cooler and cooler the farther we get into it. And we got a bunch of parts that are going to go onto it. So we got stuff that we're going to be able to show you as well. Maybe we'll just do a whole fucking episode next week on cool shit that we're going to put on this stuff. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we got a group page on Facebook that I want to tell you guys about. It's all about the build is the name of it, and it is dedicated to everything that our podcast has to offer. We got giveaways and all sorts of shit going on. If you listen to next podcast coming up. There's a way that you guys can win some IBF Hot Rod shit, but the only way to do it is you got to listen to it, and you'll find out all the information you need by listening to the podcast. You can fucking literally listen to it. We got 9 different platforms, everything from Spotify to fucking, whatever. Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple fucking Music, iHeartRadio. I don't know. There's 9 of them. But the cool thing is we're hitting 9 countries now. Our crazy asses are being heard in 9 different countries, which is amazing. We're on 9 different platforms. We got people reaching out from all over. So if you ain't in the it's all about the build world yet, then you better get there. Like I said, all you got to do is get on Facebook and search It's All About the Build under the groups, and you'll see our podcast logo, and that's it. Like I said, it's going to be a group. It's going to give you more access, and it's just another platform that you're going to have to be on in order to see some of this stuff. Like if you're watching videos here on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever, TikTok's got a whole different world. Facebook's got a whole different world. YouTube's going to be a whole different world. The fuck else is there? Instagram's a whole nother world. So, if you like what you see with us and you want to see more of it and different shit, then you just got to go to every single platform. And if you like talking about hot rods and hearing people talk about hot rods and building shit and the behind the scenes that you get, we go to even more depth than these 15, 20-minute videos every week on Facebook. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's to you guys. Until next time, stay classy, San Diego. Cheers.